Is this actually it? This is it, I think. I think this is it. I think we're going to read this. All right, we're going to go ahead and read this. Real quick, I just want to look up, who the hell is this? Is this Dr. Seuss's pen name or something? What is this? It is. All right, here we go. We're just going to read this out loud. Okay? Wait, I got to check it. Okay. Yep, we're good with the camera and stuff, okay? We're going to read this out loud. Socialists, conservatives, Weenie Hut Jr., liberals. We're going to read this out loud because it's a fundamental, good, and amazing story. Dr. Seuss was particularly amazing at teaching stories in such a fun way that they are lasting and they fit in your life quite nicely. Okay? I also used to read a lot of Dr. Seuss to Marines, because sometimes you have to read to Marines like they're 3. Okay? This works. Listen up. I'm just going to read this verbatim. It says, now, the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with snars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. So we had the star-belly Sneetches and the plain belly Sneetches. Sorry that. Those stars weren't so big. They were really so small you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag, we're the best kind of Sneetches on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they would snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. See the picture right up here, guys? There you go. There's your star-belly Sneetch. See my cursor, right? There's your star-belly Sneetch. There's your plain belly Sneetch right there. Okay? Because because the person who that has the star on the belly is better than the non-star belly, right? Let's move on. Without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get into the game? Not at all. You could only play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. So, no, they excluded from the game. Okay? When the star-belly Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts or picnic parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited plain belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. So this is an ongoing systemic thing, The star-belly Sneetches are they think they're the best, and they push away and exclude plain belly Sneetches from playing in the Sneetchy games, I guess. Whatever. Moving on. Then one day, it seems, while the plain belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean. And I've heard of your troubles, and I heard that you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappy. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very particular machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each." Just pay me the money and hop right aboard. So they clamored inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars from the start. We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties. Good grief, groaned the ones who had stars at the first. We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know? They all frowned of if which kind is what, or the other way around. There we go. Then up came McBean with a very sly wink. He says, things are not so bad as you might think. So you don't know who's who. That's perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on the beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches. Belly stars are no longer in style, says McBean. What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you don't have to look like Sneetches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then, with their snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. We know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are the Sneetches without. Then, of course, those with the stars got all frightfully mad. They had been wearing their star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, you'd probably guess things got into a horrible mess. All the rest of the day, on those wild screaming beaches, fix-it-up Chappie kept fixing the Sneetches. Off again, on again. In again, out again. Through the machines, they raced around and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying their money. They kept running through, until neither the plane nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or this one was that one, or which one was what one, or which one was who. Then, and here's the important part, ladies and gentlemen. Then when every last cent of their money was spent, fix-it-up Chappie packed up and he went. He laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They will never learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong, I'm quite happy to say. The Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day, all the Sneetches forgot about the stars, whether they had one or not upon theirs. The end.